Hey guys, real quick before the video starts, I just wanted to remind you that we've still got some Footofaferret I Am the Salt t-shirts available over at creatorinc.com. If you want to support my channel, or just really like the shirt, then you can head to the very top link in the description to check it out. And we've got plenty more stuff coming to the store in the future, so stay tuned. Thanks for listening, and on with the video. Guess what? I'm old! Well, I'm 23. It's not old. But I am YouTube old. As of yesterday, I have officially been on YouTube for 10 years. In terms of the internet, I'm basically in the retirement home.
Now, back in my day, we didn't have 25-minute Fortnite funnies. We had 2-minute sketches in grainy 360p, and we were happy. I still remember. The most subscribed was one Ray William Johnson. The annoying orange was sweeping the nation, and we all had to wait days just to see how many views a video got.
But seriously, I cannot believe that it's been a decade already. And earlier this year, I told you guys the story of how I joined the Game Theorists and made YouTube my career. But I've never told you how I got into YouTube in the first place. So to celebrate this anniversary, today I want to tell you guys the story of how I, Footofaferret, started on YouTube. So the year is 2009. I'm a 13-year-old doofus who spends all of his time on his favorite hobby, one that would come to define his life for years to come: playing guitar. Yeah, before I started YouTube, I was an aspiring guitar player. How I got into guitar is a story for another day, but for the sake of this video, all you gotta know is that I've been playing for a couple of years, was obsessed with music, and I wanted to challenge myself. There was this guitar solo that I had on repeat at the time, Eddie Van Halen's Eruption. It's an absolute face melter of a solo that 13-year-old me decided he wanted to tackle. You know, I just learned how to play an E chord, so I think I'm ready to move up to neoclassical two-handed tapping shred soloing. It'll be easy! After probably a couple of months of learning, practicing, and admittedly simplifying some of the harder parts of the song, I had it down. Or at least I had something down. Something that wasn't exact, but that I was happy with. Now, my family was always super encouraging of my guitar playing. My dad was a musician himself, so he loved that I was taking such an interest in guitar. And one day, he suggested that I record myself playing Eruption so that we could put it on YouTube. YouTube? Never heard of her. Up until that point, the internet was just for watching Homestar Runner and playing games on Nick.com for me. Social media was a completely foreign concept. I actually do remember hearing people talk about YouTube a few years earlier, but I thought they were talking about U2, the band. Like I said, obsessed with music. But even though I had no real idea what my dad was talking about, it involved playing guitar, so I just said, alright. So I sat down right here in front of my attic door with this green guitar and recorded myself playing Eruption on this bulky brick of a DV tape camera. I can't play you the actual audio because of copyright, but it went a little something like this. Yeah, just like that, except completely different, because it was a different song, and I wasn't a cartoon. I took the camera to my dad because, heck, I got no idea how the magic pictures get into the computer world. And this was a DV camera that recorded onto these little tapes. Even if I had known how YouTube worked, I would have not known what to do with that kind of camera. So my dad took it, hooked it up to his computer, and opened up the mystical wonder known as Windows Movie Maker. My first introduction to video editing. And by introduction, I mean I just sat there and watched my dad edit the video for no reason. And by edit, I of course mean he gave it one of those classic blue screen intros. And then on September 27th, 2009, the video was uploaded to my dad's old channel. My first ever YouTube video. The initial steps towards the rest of my life. Meh, yeah, if I haven't made it obvious, I didn't think anything of this. I didn't care about YouTube, I didn't know how online video worked, I just wanted to play guitar. So I quickly moved on and forgot about it. It wasn't until about 6 months later that YouTube entered my life again. I randomly saw a friend of mine watching something on their computer and they were cracking up at it. I looked over and saw that he was watching this, a YouTube vlog channel. Now this caught my attention. It was a guy sitting in his bedroom talking directly to the camera and just being funny. I'd never seen anything like it, so I decided to check it out for myself. But you see, there was a problem. I never actually got the name of the channel from my friend. All I remembered was that it was this long-haired dude who made what he called random videos. So, God, this is stupid. I went on YouTube and just searched random video. Okay, I know how dumb that sounds, but I didn't know how any of this stuff worked, and it was the only thing I knew how to do. Eventually, I did find the channel. It was called Live Lava Live. But that fateful and really stupid search instead took me to a video called 21 Random Thoughts by a YouTuber named Dan Brown. And from there, I found the Vlog Brothers, Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This, Wheezy Waiter, Mystery Guitar Man. Lord, I fell down a rabbit hole. Within the span of like a couple of months, YouTube totally overtook my life. And I just had to be a part of it. Now, back in those days, I did know that YouTubers could make money through this partnership program, but in 2010, that program was only like 3 years old, and it was far more exclusive than it eventually became. So while the idea of making YouTube a job was cool, it was not on my radar back then. I just wanted to make videos. And so on July 7th, 2010, I started my first ever YouTube channel. And yes, I called it Footofaferret. Actually, I don't know if I've ever explained where that name came from on this channel. I could have made some big clickbait video like, "You'll never believe why I named my channel this," but honestly, it's not that exciting of a story. The name Footofaferret is a mashup of my favorite animal when I was a kid, the black-footed ferret, and this band I was really into at the time, Chickenfoot. I just took the two things, squished them together, and ran with it. And now it's my brand, I'm stuck with it, and I'm pretty okay with that. I posted my first video to the Footofaferret channel on July 9th, 2010, and Lord, it is awful. Like, okay, at its core, it's a pretty cringy but standard first video. You know, the ones where you do nothing but talk about the videos that you want to make but aren't yet. Yeah, one of those. But this video's different. See, I was pretty uninterested in the editing process when my dad and I were making my guitar video, but as soon as I sat down with it myself, I went crazy. Every few seconds in this first video, the frame flips around, gets these stupid looking filters. I just had no chill when I edited this. And I guess that kinda sets the tone for how I make videos now. Except, hopefully, I learned how to make it look good. The earliest videos on my channel were totally scatterbrained. For years, I was just jumping from random idea to random idea. I tried more vlogs, posted some videos from concerts I went to, tried my hand at game reviews, and even made a few really cringy animations and wannabe viral clips. But mainly, I was making more guitar videos. I actually didn't realize just how music-centric my early videos were before writing this video. But let's face it, this doofy kid, he ain't a rock star. It wasn't until 2013 that I decided I wanted to give my channel a more focused direction. I wanted to actually do something with it, you know? And I was watching a lot of CGP Grey at the time. His videos were all voiceover with fun, heavily edited visuals, and I loved that style. But CGP Grey was an educational channel, and I don't know if this is gonna be a surprise to you guys or not, but I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. All I know is YouTube, music, cartoons, and video games. Wait! And thus, A Brief History was born on February 4th, 2013, with a really crappy episode about the Beatles. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure A Brief History was my dad's idea. We were talking about things I could do for my channel, and he brought up the idea of a retrospective series. And since we were both big Beatles fans, he suggested I do a video about them. Huh. Dad really did have a big influence on my career. But from there, you guys know the story. I made a brief history for about a year before getting in contact with this guy named MatPat, joined his channel, etc, etc. I already talked about all that in another video. This is the prequel, dang it! It is absolutely insane to think that I've been on YouTube for 10 years. I still feel like the new kid. I've spent so much time looking at the histories of other YouTubers that I guess I never really took a second to look at mine. So my 10-year anniversary literally snuck up on me. Seriously, I didn't realize it was happening until a few weeks ago. So I gotta be sappy for a second. I've learned so much over the last decade from so many awesome people and friends. I'd be nowhere without them. And of course, I'd definitely be nowhere without all of you guys watching. All the support you've shown the show and the channel over the years is more than I could have ever asked for. And the fun of entertaining you all is the reason I've kept this whole thing going for the last decade. So sincerely, thank you. You've all remembered to be awesome for 10 years. I don't need to remind you this time.